dandelions and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess, and tell your sleep paralysis demon I said hi. But do me a favor and hit that like button or the terrorists win, and this week we're going to carry the Bestechman Cicada's wing. So, let's take a look at what we're holding, because it'll bother you if I don't. And you know I love you. So, first things first, and most importantly, the pocket clip is tip up, which is the Lord's carry. It is reversible. We have got the clear Ultim scales on here. We got a thumb stud. Let's flick the stud. And we have got 3.15 inches of 10CR 15 MOV steel. Okay, so we're getting back to the heart of the channel here. We have been carrying some stuff that's way too nice for this channel. We had the Spyderco Manix 2 lightweight and Maximet steel. We had the Spyderco Manix 2 in S15V. Or 15V, sorry, there is no letter S there, it's in 15V steel, which is 12 better than 3V. We had the Devo Growler XL, and those are way more expensive than we normally get to carry. This thing I paid $40 for at Blade Show, and they are on sale at Blade HQ right now for $45, maybe $45 and a few cents. So this is kind of getting back to the core of the channel and the ethos of the channel. You know, we mostly take a look at stuff in the very budget range for guys like you and me that don't have a ton to spend on a knife. And no, a $250 knife is not a budget knife. I don't care who you are. But one thing that I am excited by is we got 10CR 15 MOV steel. I am entirely sure it is analogous to another steel that I am not aware of. I am no expert. I'm just a guy dicking around with knives in his basement. So if you know what the 10CR 15 is analogous to, feel free to sound off in the comments. I think the 9CR that we checked out, I was told it was analogous to, oh God, what is it? VG10, there we are, was analogous to VG10, but I could be wrong about that too. It's been a while since we dealt with that. One of the other things that jumped up and grabbed me by the short and curlies, however, was definitely the Ultim scales. Now, normally Ultim is yellow, and I don't like the P plastic. However, I like the clear see-through, which, you know, of course, you close this thing, and you can see right through it. This thing has got killer action on it. It feels great closing it. It feels great centrifugal opening it. The thumb stud, opening it off the thumb stud's a little bit weak, and part of that may be just the placement of the thumb stud alongside the size of my hand, but it works, but it's a little bit weak on the thumb stud opening. But that's okay, I'm not going to open off the thumb stud. I can just centrifugal open, and as you guys know, I love a good centrifugal opener. Now, one thing a lot of guys aren't going to like is the liner stops right here. There is no steel from here until you get to the pocket clip dingus, which a lot of guys aren't going to like because, focus, you can do that with it. And, you know, I'll be honest, it doesn't bother me because this is not a hard use knife. This is a city knife, this is for day-to-day use, this is for general purpose, but it is not a hard user. I've seen guys post pictures of knives, especially the white Ozark Trail Stormtrooper, the good old Stormpooper, where the handle is absolutely mangled and twisted, like somebody twisted that thing all the way around on itself, and there was blood all over it, and, you know, they were complaining about the fact that the knife was fragile, without telling us how they did that. You know, if you hit a point where that happens to you, you made some serious mistakes before you reached that point in your life, and a lot of it was using the wrong tool for the job. If you need a hard user, get something like a Cold Steel AD10 or something like that. Get something designed for hard use. That's one of those things that I will rant a little bit about just because I see a lot of complaints. Well, it's not, you know, it's not going to stand up to hard use. No, it's not designed to do that. It is very obviously not designed to do that. Of course, the pink blade grabbed me by the short and curlies too. It just amuses me to no end. The pink on clear on black is just so, it's a little jarring to look at. I'll be honest, the pink, the black, and the clear, like, it doesn't work together, but it does. It's just a little jarring all the way around, and it amuses me to no end whatsoever. I've had a Bestechman in the past. I believe that was the Dundee, which was a pretty good knife. However, because I was carrying it badly, tucked in the waistband instead of in my pocket where it's supposed to be, it partially deployed and it stabbed me and I bled like a stuck pig. It's not the Dundee's fault, it's my fault, but that memory is going to stick with me for probably the rest of my natural life. Now, let's take a look at how good the factory edge is doing and see how they did getting it out the door sharp. Oh, that is a little bit ragged. That is a little bit ragged. I feel like it's not going to be that sharp. That's probably going to be a little over 200 on the edge sharpness tester. Let's get the edge sharpness tester out that was kindly provided by you guys for your channel memberships, your super chat donations, what have you. Thank you for that. I'll always be grateful for the support. Now, how this works, if you haven't seen one before, and a lot of you guys have seen me say this a million times, but for you new faces, it measures the number of grams of force it takes to cut through the wire on the calibrated test clip. The lower the number, the better. You know, with a factory edge, under normal circumstances, most factory edges are pushing in the 170s, 175. Sometimes they dip down to 150. On a rare occasion, they'll dip down below 150 into the screaming sharp territory, but that was a ragged cut that was kind of fuzzy. So I got a feeling this is going to test a little bit higher. All right, let's get this. Okay, 185. So I guessed a little bit high on that. The 15 points is not huge, but that does put it in line with a lot of factory edges that we have seen. That is very good. I am happy to see that. You know, I'd love to see them a little sharper. I love it when factory edges are pushing 150 or so, but, you know, that's still not too shabby. That is definitely something I can carry with and work, and we can start in on Cardboard Slayer with it and enjoy it until we got to sharpen it and then see what it does on a 17 degree per side edge. We may do 18. Looks like the thumb studs are removable. Yeah, you get your T6 driver in there. It looks like they're removable as long as they're not Loctited within an inch of their life, which is good. I plan on removing the thumb studs for sharpening because on that Precision Adjust Professional, I always ding the thumb studs up. Now, with black thumb studs like this, you can absolve some of your sins with a black magic marker and cover up whatever dings you put on the thumb stud, but I would prefer removing them so that I can sharpen without fear of doing that and not have any major issues. But yeah, I have been excited about this thing since I got it, and a lot of that is tied to just wanting to show some guys at work, which are probably going to get a good laugh out of it. And also, that action feels sublime. The action on it is so good. I love how this thing slams shut. I love the centrifugal open on it. It feels good. And like I'm not going to get over like Ultim being clear. Thank God it's not pea plastic yellow, or I would not have bought it. But I love it. Like, I've got the Kaiser Drop Bear in clear, and I sent the Kaiser Drop Bear with the clear scales off to somebody to take a look at so that they could get a feel for what a good axis lock is like while they're working on designing their own. I love clear stuff, and I don't see it often enough. But yeah, I've been excited about carrying this. I'm going to enjoy carrying it for the week and coming back and letting you guys know how it did. We're going to have some fun with Cardboard Slayer and seeing how this pink finish holds up. It's definitely some kind of coating on it, not DLC. Hopefully, like, one of two things needs to happen. Either it needs to not wear off too terribly, or it really needs to wear off terribly and look like absolute teetotal crap when we're done. I either want it looking good when I'm done, or I want it to look like it has been through absolute hell, no in between. So, can't think of anything else. So all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. Y'all keep coming in. I appreciate you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We got live streams, regular videos. There's plenty of activities. Comments, I love some feedback. Let me know what you think about this thing or anything else. And all that being said, y'all have a nice day.